Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Jayco Jay Flight 287 BHS. Let me start off by saying I apologize for my voice. I'm a little sick today, so just bear with me. However, I do want to go over this great floor plan. It's probably one you've seen before. There's a lot of different manufacturers that have something similar, but of course Jayco adds a little touches here and there, and we'll go over those as we go through the RV. You will notice there's a super slide here. This one is a rear double over double bunk with the campside second entrance. Let's go right over here to the kitchen. So you'll see you have some decent prep space over here to the side. You know, not a ton, but they did a pretty good job with the sink angle to at least open this space up. And they give you this space back here, which I really like because that gives you a great spot to put either a coffee maker or toaster, something that's going to be a little bit permanent. And as you'll notice, they had the same thing in mind as your electrical outlet is right on the wall there. Up above that, you have some of your main controls here. You'll see your power awning, also your slide out control. Tank monitoring panel is located right next to that with your water pump on there, as well as the heater. And over to the sides, you have a couple light switches there. If we take a quick look underneath the countertop, you'll see right over here, as soon as you walk in, you do have a little bit of storage right there. Personally, I'd probably try to use that for some of your pots and pans if you have space. There are, normally in a lot of floor plans, I'll use something like that for shoes, but this one actually has a much better, little more dedicated spot, so I'd probably try to find another use for that. Right up front here, you'll see you have two drawers, which is almost necessary in any RV to have a functional kitchen. That way you have a place to put your silverware, and then an extra drawer for some of your larger utensils, like spatulas, spoons, your serving spoons, things like that nature. Right underneath the sink here, you'll notice you have a big enough compartment there for a trash can. You have the shelf in the back, so you have a spot in which you can put some of your cleaning supplies. But I love that they gave you room for a trash can there. That's pretty important to me. I hate having a trash bag hang off one of my poles. It just, as people are coming in and out, it's not exactly the classiest looking thing, so I like having a spot to be able to tuck my trash away. Plus it helps keep some of the smells out as well. If we take a look up on the countertop itself, you will notice the large double bowl sink here. So this makes it nice and easy to wash and rinse dishes, especially when aided by the high-rise faucet. And over to the side, you have the 3-burner cooktop. The front one on there is high output, and you have an oven underneath in case you want to do some baking. We look all the way up top here, you'll see you have your hood right above your cooktop as you'd expect. Does have both a light and fan in there, microwave as well. And over to this side here, you have pretty decent storage up there as well. So probably a good place for, some of your spices, or maybe you want to put plates up there, cups, things like that. You certainly have plenty of room to do that. And then coming in a little bit further, you get into the Norcold fridge freezer combo. 6 cubic foot, so you have plenty of space in there, cut out right here for some of your taller items. You'll see you also have the pull-out drawer right there on the bottom. I like Norcold. It is built right here in the US. This unit does run off both propane and electric, and also has automatic switchover. Then moving down a little bit further here, take a look at that. You have big pantry space right here. This is great. Excellent spot for, a lot of your foodstuffs, your canned goods, your Pop-Tarts, s'more fixings, things like that. And again, if you need some additional room for some paper plates, you can stuff those in there. Really just, I'm glad they were able to fit that in there. It is good pantry space. Then right over here, that allows them to dedicate this to clothes for the kids. You'll see the hanging rod going across the top there, so great place to hang the clothes. You have plenty of space right down below here as well. So if you want to put a small, like clothes hamper there, you can do that. That way the kids have a place to throw their dirty clothes, or you can put folded clothes there as well. And then you have 3 drawers running the full length right down here. So that way, again, for any additional folded clothes, you have space there too. And right here in the back corner is the bathroom. As I'd mentioned previously, you do see there's a secondary entrance right here. The big advantage of this, folks, is you can just come in, do your business, and head right back out, especially the kids. I know my little ones are constantly having to use the bathroom. So with the second entrance, they're not traipsing dirt throughout the entire RV to use the bathroom again. They just come in, do what they have to, and head right back out. You also see right over here is your sink top and vanity. Decent countertop space in here. You have a little bit on each side, so if you have a toothbrush holder or something, you can put that on the back. Need to set your hair dryer, curling iron down. You do have a little bit of space in which you're able to do that. Electrical outlet right over there to the side. You also have your hand towel ring here, and you have storage underneath. You can see that. You do have a duct running through there, which is cool. So that way, if it is a cold morning, and you have the furnace running, it will be nice and toasty in here. But again, you have that big space. So if you want to put a trash can in the bathroom, you have plenty of room in which you can do it. Toilet right over here, you'll see obviously, because the placement, you have plenty of leg room, great shoulder room too. Your toilet paper holder is actually mounted in a good spot. A lot of manufacturers put them in really weird spots where it's hard to get to, but not going to be the case there. Directly up above me is the vent fan, so that way, if you need to quickly help moisture escape, you can turn that guy on. And one of my favorite parts about this bathroom is right back here. Look at the size of this shower, folks. A lot of times, especially in bunk models, you get a really teeny tiny shower, and it's hard to be able to shower. You can hardly move. That's not the case here. I mean, I can spread out nice and easy. I can turn all the way around without bumping any walls. That's pretty darn impressive. Hand wand here as well to make it nice and easy to shower up. You do have a couple of shelves there, so you have places for your soap, shampoo, and other items. You'll also see there's a skylight up top. Now I'm 6 foot, and as you can notice, they have tall ceilings in here, 81-inch ceilings, I believe. So I don't need the skylight, but even if you're a taller person, 6'2", 6'3", that skylight does give you that extra headroom. Plus it lets in some natural light during the day. Right here in the back corner are your double over double bunks. So one of my favorite parts about the Jayco beds, folks, is they are rated for 600-pound sleeping capacity. That's double what most manufacturers have. The reason I like that is because a lot of times, you're going to go camping with your kids and that's what you have the bunks for. But sometimes you just want to go with your friends. Maybe you're having a ladies' weekend. Maybe you're having a guys' weekend, whatever it may be, a fishing trip. And you need just the extra sleeping space for 2 adults. You can do that in these bunks here. Yeah, they'll be cuddling up a little bit, but at least they're not going to fall and drop down on the person down below or hurt themselves. So I love the fact that they are extra reinforced. You'll also see that the bunks on here, 4-inch thick bunks. So, a lot of bunks, they're half this thickness where you can basically feel the wood right through them. That's not going to be the case here. Nice thick bunks for a comfortable night's rest. You have the privacy curtain on both top and the bottom, as well as an LED light there. And you have a window as well. You have one on the top, the one on the bottom is an emergency exit. So in the event there's a fire or something you need to get out, you can do that. Another thing I really like is this right over here, and that is the fact they have a built-in ladder. And I like this for a couple of reasons. One, the ladder design itself. When it comes out, you can see when it sits down, it has nice flat steps. A lot of times the steps are pretty tough, even for, especially an adult, because I don't know why, but it seems like the older I get, if there's really narrow steps, it hurts my feet. But that's not the case here. This is easy to climb. But the most important thing about the steps, folks, is what I found is it's always those small kids that want to sleep up top, right? It's the little ones. They're excited. They want to be on the top bunk. It feels cool. But they generally can't get up there by themselves, And putting a foot here and trying to hop up is easy if you're an adult. It's a lot tougher if you're 4 or 5. So having the steps here makes that manageable to climb up and in. Then they have the padding there as well. So again, that way they're not hurting their knees or anything. When they're sliding back down, their belly's rubbing on the pad here, not on a hard piece of wood. So, I know it's kind of a small feature, but I do like the way that they design the steps. You'll also notice there's an electrical outlet right down there. So if you do need to plug anything in, any kind of electronics, whether it's a tablet, cell phone, whatever, you have the electrical outlet so you can do that. Then right over here is your super slide. You have a big U-dinette here, which is exactly what you want when you have a bunk model. Chances are you'll be having, 4 or 5 people sitting around the table. You can do that here and have a little more elbow room. You're not, smacking each other with your elbows while you're trying to eat a meal. Plus, if you do need the extra sleeping capacity, this does drop down into a larger bed where you can sleep 2 adults. You'll notice there's an electrical outlet right up here too. So same thing, need to plug something in, you can do that. Couple windows here to let in some natural light during the day. LED lights for lighting at night. Additional storage above the jackknife sofa. Notice that because it is an overhead bin, they have the strut supports on here, which is really nice. That way it's one-hand operation. You don't have to try to hold it with one arm while fishing around trying to get in there to find what you're looking for. Just having those struts on there is a nice extra feature. Then right over here is your jackknife sofa. Now the jackknife sofa is pretty comfortable. One of the things I really like is the fact that they gave you the armrests. They're nothing fancy, essentially it's a piece of foam, but it does make sitting here a lot more comfortable. I hate sitting on a couch, I don't have armrests, you sit here uncomfortable. Especially if you get like a throw pillow or two, because you can kind of stack that in the center, give yourself a second armrest there. Now, the big advantage of jackknife sofas, of course, folks, is this right here, and that is all the storage you get underneath. It's fairly easy to get at, and it's large, so you can put some of your bigger items down there, like your extra bedding, pillows, things like that. And then, of course, that does drop down into another bed as well. Right over here, you know, I like when manufacturers do this, because this is kind of where it changes a little bit based on manufacturer, different floor plans. Most of the time, you get an entertainment center right here in the center, and you have a walkway around both sides of it. But for me personally, I prefer this setup. So you still have the entertainment center right here. You'll notice that you obviously have your plugins right there. Your signal booster is there too. Right underneath, you have a radio. This is Bluetooth capable, so that way, you know, if you want to connect via Bluetooth through your smartphone or something like that, you can do so. This does control the speakers in here as well as the ones outside in the awning. Then right underneath there, you'll see you have some additional storage as well as the storage right here up top. But as I mentioned, more important to me is this section right over here. So you do have storage up top. They put glass in here, which is cool. You know, tinted glass kind of helps break the look up a little bit. Then right down underneath that, they have a coat rack. And again, for me, I'm more about functionality, and this is functional. I walk in, I can hang my jacket up, hang my sweatshirt up right there where I want it. Right down below here, I have a little stool so I can sit here and put my shoes on. And what they've done is instead of having an open bottom where your shoes are hanging out, take a look at that. They have a little bin. So you flip this up, you can put your shoes in there. They're tucked away. No one has to see them. Pull them out, sit down, put your shoes on, and you're ready to go outside. I love the fact that they threw this in. As you walk into the bedroom here, front and center is your queen bed. I like the bedding they've chosen here. Not only is it kind of stylish in my opinion, you know, I like the color scheme, but also it's a little bit thicker. It's a little more heavier weight than most of the comforters you get in here. A lot of times, you know, you get a brand new travel trailer and you immediately have to go out and buy new bedding, but this is something that I would actually use. You'll also see on both sides, you have big nightstands there with electrical outlets. So if you need to charge any electronics or if you sleep with a CPAP machine, you can set that up on either side of the bed. Directly above that, you have some storage. The one side here, you'll notice you have a couple shelves. On the other side, you have a hanging rod. So if you need to hang some clothes up, you can do it right there. And then you have the shelf connecting the two right in between with the LED reading lights underneath. If you want to watch some TV before bed, that's not an issue either. You will see that they put a backer in the wall right there so you know exactly where to mount it. Then the connections are right up top. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at the outside of the Jayco Jay Flight 287 BHS. Right up front here, you have your two 20-pound propane tanks. Switch over, of course, is right behind that. Makes it nice and easy. And then right down here, you have rails for your battery. Coming up the front is the black diamond plating there, which helps protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that get thrown out by your tow vehicle. And one of the things that Jayco always talks about, you know, a couple things about construction. One of them is the frame itself. They have an integrated A-frame here where the frame actually goes through your rail and connects to the back rather than simply being welded. So that way the whole thing is a lot more sturdy and robust than a lot of other manufacturers out there. When you come around to the side here and you look in the pass-through storage, you'll see that is nice, clean storage. You have access on the camp side here, the off-door side, as well as underneath the bed. That bed is strut supported, so it lifts up nice and easy. So a couple different access points to this storage area. Another thing I want to talk about construction is the roof itself. They have the Magnum truss system, their Magnum roof system is what Jayco calls it. And when you think Magnum, you originally, you know, at least my mind thinks bigger, right? Bigger, better, stronger, and that's exactly what it is. So a lot of your vertical supports and most manufacturers will use 1-bys or they'll just use essentially an aluminum strip. Jayco uses a 2x2 in there so it can support a lot more weight. Jayco's tested it. You can put 4,500 pounds on the roof up there. They also used oversized nail plates, and the roof material itself is Dyflex 2, which is an upgraded, essentially TPO. It's fleeceless, so it doesn't have the bottom lining, meaning that if it does have any kind of tear penetration, it's not going to soak up a bunch of water. And plus, it requires very little maintenance. Unlike a rubber roof where you have to get up there and put additives into it every year, there are no additives that are going to leach out of that TPO roof. So definitely an excellent roof system here on the Jay Flight. You'll also see the power awning there. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. It is the Solera awning, so it has the speakers in the heads of the awning. You can see that. And as I mentioned, that is controlled by that multimedia center inside. It is an adjustable awning, so you can adjust the pitch. It's super easy. It just has a little pull, so you can pull it down, kind of move it to either side or just the whole thing down to give you more shade. And then you'll see you have the LED light strip there too. Just flip of a switch and you have light at night. 3 steps for both sets or both doors here, so it is nice and simple to get in. You also have your standard grab handle here too for a little extra control when entering or exiting the RV. Right here you have a couple electrical outlets, so if you need to plug anything in wired outside, that'll be the place to do it. Right back here is your tank fill, so if you're looking to do some boondocking, you're going to want fresh water, you can go ahead and fill that bad puppy up right there. Nice large fresh tank too. You have 2 fresh tanks on here for 80 gallons of fresh water. Making our way back a little bit further, you have easy lube axles. You can pop the little cap off there. There's a greaser that makes the maintenance side a little bit easier. You can pump a bunch of grease in there rather than having to constantly repack the bearings. There is still a process to it, folks. You do want to lift it up off the ground, spin the tires, some other things in which you have to do. So definitely make sure you do your research. But again, it is definitely an easier process. Secondary entrance right there, as I had mentioned. When we come around to the back here, you will see that there is a spare tire mounted right back here on the bumper with the cover, so it should be in good shape if you ever have to use it. You'll also see your city water inlet is back here, as is your outside shower with both hot and cold water access. Right here, you have 2 electrical outlets, so if you need to plug anything in outside, that'll be the place to do it. Right over here is your fresh water fill. So if you're looking to fill the fresh water tank, you expect to do some boondocking, that is the place to do it. You notice the tires right here, the wheels, they do have easy lube axles, which are cool. Makes it a lot easier for the maintenance side of things. Rather than having to constantly repack your bearings, there's a grease cert on there. You can pump some grease right into it. There is still a process, folks. You still want to lift your trailer up off the ground. You have to spin the tire, do some other things, so definitely do your research. But just bear in mind that it is definitely an easier process. Second entrance right back here, as I mentioned, you have the 3 foldable steps and the grab handle there too. Right here on the off-door side, you have your 30-amp power cord. Water heater is right next to that. And if we take a look right here, under that bunk, you will see you have all this extra storage. So great extra storage area here on the off-door side. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Jayco Jay Flight SLX 287 BHS. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.